So it's gone midnight in Great Walford. There's been some activity out here with suspicious people. We've had number plates stolen and potentially somebody trying to steal a vehicle. Somebody seen in suspicious circumstances in an area blocking a driveway, so out here patrolling to see whether we can pick up any suspicious people or vehicles. I did actually, within the last couple of days, stop search somebody that was from Yorkshire. It turned out he was homeless and walking through, but he had a fair few previous arrests on his record. He didn't have anything with him that meant that I could arrest him. He wasn't committing any offences. He was travelling through on foot, so he was on his way. He wasn't a very pleasant chap, to be fair. He was quite abusive, but following the stop search he was gone, and that was just out from patrolling around the Walfords. I'll put some leaflets out tonight to let people know that I've been here. Put some of the nothing left in this van, this vehicle notices out as well. So hopefully people wake up and realise that I've been around. Now I'm on to Birmingham. So having come from the Walfords to Barton on the Heath, Little Compton, Long Compton, Stourton, I've been around everywhere tonight, into Birmingham now, and I patrol up here quite a lot as well. And I think the last job I had here, or last sort of seizure when I was out patrolling, was at Peugeot. So actually the guy's in court in a couple of days. He had everything. He was disqualified from driving in about 2015 for drink driving. We picked him up beginning of last year, 2017, driving while disqualified in Shipston. And then the back end of last year, Andy and I were out and about patrolling around here in Birmingham. We picked him up and seized his car just down the way. No insurance, no MOT, disqualified, no tax, the lot really, because he's failed to turn up at court for the disqual driving at the beginning of last year. There's a warrant out for his arrest. So if you're a 45-year-old male who recognises me as seizing one of your cars from Birmingham back end of last year, you might want to hand yourself in and turn up at court in 2 days on the 6th of February as well, when your next court date is for the one that I dealt with. Yeah, silly people wasting time, meaning we have to go and look for them instead of them just owning up to what's gone on. Turn up at court, have your day. So I'll carry on. I'll do a little bit more through Birmingham, maybe wiggle through to Brailes, Tysoe, Ettington, etc. See where the night takes me. So a roundup of tonight is not much happened. There was we had a call to the Sheldon Bosley Club in Shipston, but before I got anywhere near it, the people who were causing an issue in there had left. So thankfully I could stay out patrolling around rural villages. Earlier in the night when I first came on, there were a couple of calls. We had a 999 call to a neighbour dispute, and the dispute was surrounding bin bags and refuse. I think that was dealt with pretty quickly. Words of advice given. Later on there were kids called in on the A429, the Foss Way near Ettington, who were having a Nerf gun fight, and it got a little bit dark for them, so they decided to try and flag cars down to give them a lift home. More stuff that we deal with. Other than that, tonight in this area it's been okay really. I didn't come across anything, I haven't arrested anybody, I haven't seized anything. It's the early hours of the morning again now. The gritters have been out, take a look. So watch it in the morning really. Hopefully everything will be okay for the rest of the night. One extra thing that did come in last night, another thing that we have to deal with, two 16-year-old girls from Lower Quinton decided that they wanted to spend, I don't know where they're getting the money from, 30 quid on a taxi to go to Stratford, having climbed out of the window of the house, and then they were reported missing, so numerous police officers had to spend a lot of time hunting them down, finding them in McDonald's in Stratford. and then taking them back home as a free taxi service. Why weren't those units patrolling? Because they were doing it. I've had some comments about the video from last night that it was good, that people appreciated it. I think it's a good thing. It shows the things that I deal with. It'll show you things that other officers deal with as well in the area, and hopefully just put across a bit more information to enable you to see that we are here, we are working, we are out patrolling, we are trying to catch the burglars, the thieves, and we come across all sorts of other stuff while we're doing that. And we are diverted to lots of other things. The chap from last night, who was very drunk with the tree, that is now back where it needs to be. So I found the owner of the conifer, and he's back with his buddies. He saw yesterday's video, and he actually called, left a couple of messages. He came in, lovely guy. He just had too many. He was actually all right last night given the circumstances and what he was doing. He was perfectly pleasant with me, and when he came in today he was pretty mortified. The alcohol got the better of him. I can't say alcohol's not got the better of me in the past. Having said that, I haven't had an alcoholic drink since the 1st of January this year, which is the longest in my, not my entire life, longest in over half my life. I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe this guy will lay off the sauce for a couple of weeks before he decides to go back on it again. But anyway, lovely chap. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for having a chat with me. He apologised. It happens. Good night. One particularly annoying thing from last night. In the video that I did yesterday, I said that the town had gone quiet, and it had, and I went off to the villages around the outside to see what I could find out there. When I was as far away as I could possibly be, somebody came off the high street onto the gyratory and flew into the fence in somebody's house just over the way, making a complete mess of it because they were drunk. The legal limit is 35 micrograms of alcohol in 100 millilitres of breath, which doesn't mean anything to anybody, but it's 35. This person blew over 160. It's a 20-year-old lad who's been charged to court with providing an evidential breath sample at Leamington, having been arrested and taken away from here by other officers at 3 o'clock in the morning. And the reading at custody at Leamington was 122. The annoying thing, I mean, for me, the people who own the fence are going to be understandably very annoyed. The annoying thing for me is I saw that person trying their car door and drove past them earlier on in the night to give them the warning of, let's not be silly, none of that, go home. And they walked off with their friends out of town. And usually that's enough. And I thought that was enough. And then not only have they nearly killed themselves, who else could they have potentially run over? Because there were still people that had come out. And having driven along here, smashed. Into this fencing. Absolutely ridiculous. Why do we deal with drink drivers? Why do we deal with drink drivers? They kill themselves, they can kill other people. Do you want to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to look out your house and see a car embedded in it? Court date's coming up sometime in February for that person who's been charged. I'll let you know the result.